Hello and welcome to Beyond Sunday, a podcast from Schweitzer Church. I'm your host, Jason Leininger, and in studio today we have Caitlin Didier. Welcome, Caitlin.
Hi.
Did I say your last name right?
Yes, you did.
That's good. The last time you were here, you were very different because it was Caitlin Yoder.
Yes.
But you got married, and now you're Caitlin Didier, and you are in to talk about Flourish Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what Flourish Girls is. I know it's a ministry that Flourish runs, but what is it?
Yeah, Flourish Girls is a leadership club we have at Pipkin Middle School for 6th and 7th graders. And it's, in a way, like for the kids with what we like to say big behaviors who struggle to sit through class. And if they're not going to sit through class and learn, then let's come and sit through Flourish Girls and let's hear about, characters and values and how we can not act on our big emotions and things like that. So, yeah.
I really want to know more because first you called it a leadership club.
Mm-hmm.
And so like leadership is one of my interests. But then you said big behaviors. And I'm like, I think that kind of club would have been for me if I would have been a girl. But so say more about that.
Yeah. So we, that's kind of what we're all aspiring to be as leaders. And kind of what we say with the girls is we're a leadership club and we're working to equip and empower girls to overcome adversity and flourish so we can handle challenges and be a positive influence to the people around us and take people with us. And one thing really cool is we started Flourish Girls of the Month this semester. So each month we have the teachers in the school nominate girls, and it's been cool to see some of the nominations come in. And the girl who won in 6th grade this year said she's leading others around her to do the right thing in class and to be respectful and to finish their work, which is something, it's not just about your own behavior, but it's about how your influence impacts the people around you to also lead them to do great things.
I see. So you mentioned that you've got 6th and 7th graders.
Mm-hmm.
About how many girls are you connecting with?
So we have about 60 girls this semester, and it's 30 in each. So, yeah.
Okay. And then when you talk about some of the values, some of the things that you're imparting, do you have a list of what those are? Or?
I can name some of the topics we've done this year. So we talked about character and values, handling big emotions, self-care, and how we can't handle our big emotions if we're not feeling ourselves first. We've talked about authenticity and comparison, how it's important to if you're a kind person here, you need to be a kind person in every situation, not just saying the words, but doing the actions and following through. Comparison with, we don't have to compare ourselves to others. Like, we have value inherently, and it doesn't matter what the people around us are doing. And today we actually just talked about mental health and how to deal with anxiety and depression, and that those things are not bad per se, but it's how we deal with them and process them. And it's important to reach out for help to trusted adults.
So when you have these discussions, when you have these conversations, what are some of the things that the girls reflect back, or what do they talk about? How do they receive this kind of shaping in their life?
So we have small group time each week, and so about 5 girls sit with a mentor, and they can really process these in relation to what's going on in their class or at home. And so a lot of these girls recognize these are good things to be the same person, to be kind everywhere, but they're like, my teacher yells at me, or my classmate's distracting me, or at home, no one cares about me. And so to talk through, we can control what we do. We can't control what other people do. So our time in small group is really, processing through what's going on in their life and, giving them tools and empowering them to, act these out, even when it's hard, because we tell them every week, you are capable of doing hard things. And we're cheering you on, and we're really proud of you. Mm-hmm. And so this week, one of the other leaders just shared with me, she's been all semester encouraging her girls to not argue with teachers, because that's their biggest thing is they get into arguments with teachers, which isn't, I think most would agree is not a good thing. And so she said this last week, the girls were so excited. They came in and sat at our table and they're like, we haven't argued with the teacher yet today, which is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they spent the rest of their time in their small group kind of like going through the rest of their classes. And they're like, okay, these are the teachers we have left, and kind of coming up with a game plan of like, we've done it so far, we can keep doing the hard thing, we can finish the day without arguing with teachers. And so it's really a place where we're talking through what's really going on and like coming up with plans and getting encouragement on how to like follow through.
So, I mean, that's fascinating observation that they made, and a plan. Then you hear back from the teachers on that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of like the feedback we get from Flourish Girls of the Month is like teachers praising like, this girl has started to come to school more. This student has started to like listen and turn in their work on time. Okay. And that's been really cool to see.
Yeah. You mentioned mentors before. Mm-hmm. How many mentors do you have, and what do they do? What's their role?
I think we have 11 mentors, if I'm correct in that. And so they lead small group discussions. So we like to break out into smaller groups to have like just more in-depth conversations with the girls. So they lead those. And then the girls also journal at the end, kind of a way to quietly reflect. And each leader takes home about 5 journals and reads them and responds to them and gives encouragement that way too.
Okay. If somebody wanted to be involved, what would be a great way that they could be involved in this ministry in terms of connecting into and pouring into the girls at this middle school?
Yeah. A great way would be to give. This program is an expensive program because we have to feed them lunch, and we have a lot of like supplies, materials, club t-shirts, and we don't charge them anything. So that's really the best way to give with, I think it's flourishcdc.org/give.
Yep.
So
what if somebody want to be a mentor?
Yes, they can reach out to us. When we look for mentors, we'd love to talk to people and see if they're a good fit. Okay.
And this is Flourish Girls. Is it always going to be just girls, or is there going to be a place for knuckleheads like me?
Maybe one day we'll have a Flourish Boys.
All right. That will be great. Thanks, Caitlin. Thanks for joining us today, telling us more, sharing with us the ministry of Flourish Girls. Thanks to everyone who tuned in, who listened or watched. We appreciate you. We always look forward to seeing you on Sunday and beyond.